Question 3. If alpha and beta are the roots of the equation x squared minus x plus 1 is equal to 0, then alpha raised to 2009 plus beta raised to 2009 is equal to -1, 1, 2 and -2. Now obviously alpha raised to 2009 is very impractical to find, okay, by the conventional methods like alpha into alpha 2009 times. Okay, same goes with the beta part. Okay, so there must be some trick, and more often than not that trick involves complex numbers, particularly the exponential form of the complex numbers. Okay, e to the power I theta into r, where r is the modulus and theta is the argument. First, what I have done is I have actually solved this quadratic equation by the formula. X will be equal to minus b plus or minus root of b squared minus 4ac upon 2 into a. So the roots that I have got are 1 by 2 plus I into root 3 by 2, whose exponential representation is going to be e to the power I pi by 3. Correct? Because if you remember, e to the power I theta is cos theta plus I sin theta. Okay, and the mod of this is always going to be equal to 1 because it is root of cos squared theta plus sin squared theta. Now you also observe that 1 upon 2 is cos pi by 3 and root 3 by 2 is sin pi by 3. So the first root is going to be e to the power I pi by 3. If you go to the second root, 1 upon 2 minus I into root 3 by 2. Okay, because of the plus or minus sign which root 3i has, the exponential representation of the second root is e to the power I into minus pi by 3. Okay, so now theta is negative pi by 3 because cos is positive and sin is negative. Okay, so having obtained the values of alpha and beta, which are the roots, now let us proceed to the expression. Okay, alpha raised to 2009 plus beta raised to 2009. Now we can use this law of indices. A raised to m raised to n is nothing but a raised to m into n. A very useful law. So using this law, we may write alpha raised to 2009 as e to the power I 2009 upon 3 pi, and we may write beta raised to 2009 as e to the power I into minus 2009 upon 3 pi. Okay, so using the exponents or the powers, the sum will get simplified. Now we note the following: 2000 upon 3, although this is not an integer, we will try to extract the integer part. Okay, if you do that, then it will turn out to be 669 plus 2 by 3. Okay, so alpha to the power 2009 can now be split into two terms. Okay, first term is e to the power I 669 pi, and the second is e to the power I 2 pi by 3. So basically 669 and 2 by 3 is, if you add them, you will get 2009 divided by 3. Okay, next, because 669 is an odd number, I have split it into 668 pi and pi. Okay, I'll tell you the reason now. If you split it, then you get e to the power I pi corresponding to the pi part, and 668 pi or e to the power I into 2 into 334 pi as the first part. E to the power I 2 pi by 3 remains the same. Okay, so this number, this complex number here, has now been split into two complex numbers, this one and this one. Okay, the third one has been kept as it is. Now you may recall the following properties. E to the power I 2n pi, where n is any integer, is always equal to 1, and e to the power I pi is equal to minus 2. Again, you can use the representation. E to the power I theta is cos theta plus I sin theta. Cos pi is minus 1, sin pi is 0. So if you do that, then alpha raised to 2009 simplifies to 1, which is e to the power I 2 into 334 pi. So it is 2 pi into 334. So that will be 1. E raised to I pi will be minus 1, and e raised to I 2 pi by 3 will be cos 2 pi by 3, which is minus 1 upon 2 plus I into sin 2 pi by 3. So that is negative 1 upon 2 plus I into root 3 by 2. So we have now successfully computed alpha to the power 2009 as minus 1 into negative 1 upon 2 plus I into root 3 by 2. On similar lines, you can actually compute beta raised to 2009. Okay, remember, beta raised to 2009 is nothing but e to the power I into, well, it's basically this. Okay, e to the power I into negative 2009 upon 3 into pi. You have to follow the same process, almost same, to arrive at the answer. Alternately, you may observe that this root or beta is the reciprocal of alpha, isn't it? Because this is plus and this is minus. Okay, so you may find beta as the reciprocal of this complex number. So you will be required to multiply this by its complex conjugate. Okay, so if you find it, then it turns out to be negative 1 into minus 1 upon 2 minus I into root 3 by 2. So now the easiest part, the addition of alpha raised to 2009 and beta raised to 2009. Now you observe that both have minus 1, so take it outside. This is the complex conjugate of the other. This is minus 1 by 2 minus I root 3 by 2, and here you have minus 1 by 2 plus I into root 3 by 2. So the imaginary part will vanish. Negative 1 by 2 plus negative 1 by 2 minus 1, minus 1 into minus 1 plus 1. And that is option B. Okay, just in case if you have any doubt in computing beta raised to 2009, let me explain. This is basically 1 upon alpha raised to 2009 because beta is the reciprocal of alpha. Okay, so let's now quickly find it. It is going to be minus 1 upon negative 1 by 2 plus I into root 3 by 2. If you multiply and divide by its complex conjugate, minus 1 upon 2 minus I into root 3 by 2. Okay, now you observe the following. Keep this minus sign as it is, or minus 1, and also keep this term as it is. Let's focus our attention on the denominator. This is a plus b into a minus b, so it will be a squared minus b squared. Okay, I squared is minus 1, root 3 by 2 squared will be 3 by 4. So 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4 will be 1. Yes, so there's no need to write it. So beta raised to 2009 will be minus 1 into negative 1 upon 2 minus I into root 3 by 2. Okay, so that is how you can find beta raised to 2009, and ultimately adding the two powers you will get 1, which is option B. Yes, okay.